Hello, 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 my darlings. Thank you for joining me on A Slice of Life, A Slice of Life. Who saw Whitney before the world did? Who saw Whitney before the world did? So I was reading about Clive Davis, may God rest his soul. Many people know him as the man who helped introduce the world to legends like Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Alicia Keys, and many others. But what fascinated me wasn't the music, it was the vision. Imagine hearing someone sing before they became famous. Imagine looking at an ordinary person and saying, there is something special there. Not after success, not afterwards, not after millions of records, before. That takes a different kind of eyesight. You see, you've done that with people, you're like, there's something about that person. Most people can recognize talent after it succeeds, you know. You say, oh yeah, I knew. But you in the same thing, you didn't get that other person sitting over there in the choir, behind the door, in the corner singing. Everyone loves a winner. Oh yes, I knew that. But who loves the person before they win? Who loves the person before they win? Who encourages the writer before the book? See, that's what we do. That's what A Slice of Life is about. We see you before they see you. Because we see you. We know it's there. It's just getting you out there so other people can see it. Who encourages the writer? We do. The athlete before the trophy? We do. The entrepreneur before the business? You know that's what we do over here. The preacher before the congregation, the YouTuber before the subscribers. Like I said, I'll never forget little Gigi saying, I said, only got 2 people. And she said, did you think that one? I always remember that. The truth is, many of us are walking around with gifts nobody has noticed yet. Like the people who came to my one-woman show were just, what? She sings? She does this, she does that, because they missed the whole thing. They miss, because you can't judge a book by its cover, as you know. Sometimes not even us have noticed the person right next door. When I look back over my own life, I realized there were people who saw things that I didn't see. Because there was some encouragement. There was always encouragement from a teacher, always a parent, always a mentor, a supervisor. I remember the supervisor at Delta Airlines that said, you know what? I don't even know why they got all this in your record, in your folder. Why do they have all this? Does that make sense at all? Because I came along during the time when there was nobody black working where I started. Anyway, a pastor, a friend. Perhaps they said, you can do this. You should apply. I'm going to tell you that. Sandra East Jackson at Delta Airlines said, you should take a class called PC. I said, girl, I'm going to retire in a month or 2 months. I said, they're not going to put me in a PC class. That's a waste of money. She said, no. Go and apply. Even the job I did get in the training department, she said, you should apply. You have a master's degree, da-da-da-da. And I said, okay. Just somebody sit, and I got it. And then I took the class, and I was one of the first people around that knew how to do personal computers. Came right out of Delta into TRW, putting in a 911 system for the Atlanta, Georgia's 911 system on Ponce de Leon, because I already knew how to work computers. And that's something. That was the late Sandra East Jackson. She was a remarkable woman. And so, but she said that to me. Somebody said, you ought to speak. You ought to do more. I had people that say things, but I didn't believe it myself. You ought to lead. And at the time, I brushed it off. You brushed it off too. Years later, we realized that they were looking at our future, and years later, you realize that somebody saw something that you should have stayed with. I have some regrets there. Have you ever noticed that God often sends someone to announce your gift before you believe in yourself? I have announced some people's gifts. They didn't believe me. They went on and do something else. They go on and do something else. I go, okay, but you miss what I know about you. I know that because you can see it. We can see stuff that God has told us to say to the person. And they go on and do something else. And so you just say, and this happened to me too. I mean, I've gone on and done something else. And I almost missed the one-woman show had it not been for Sean. Now I forgot. Why did I forget Sean's name? Anyway, Sean, one of my students at Atlanta Metropolitan State, she said, you should do a one-woman show. She said that. She said it. Then I think she told Cornell, he said it. And then Wanda Spivey said it. And then, Wanda was the icing on the cake. She said, you have to do it. But sometimes you just need somebody to say it for you. And then you do it. And it turns out right. I have said some things to people, and they have not done it. And they don't know. They don't know. Then later on they'll say, you know what? I wish I'd done that. And so it's happened to me too, though. Recognizing talent is something. That's the hard part. Is promoting is one thing, but recognizing it is another thing. Developing is another thing. Clive Davis didn't simply discover people. He worked with them. He encouraged them. He made introductions. But he was Clive Davis. Who gonna say no? It's easier for me to, if I look back on it. He was who he was. He could make things happen. Talent without opportunity often remains hidden, and that's the problem what I have with people that I talk to, because they can't see the forest for the trees. But talent without opportunity often remains hidden. It's the same way with the one-woman show. Had I not gotten up there, I never would have gotten it out of my system, and I still want to do another show, but I want to do it with teeth. And I want to do it when I feel like I want to do it. I'm thinking in my mind. I already have some people in mind that I don't have to ask, because I know that Sean Walker, sorry about that, Sean, class of 18, Spelman College. But anyway, talent without opportunity often remains hidden. That's why I ask, who are you encouraging? And don't give up right there, because people, when they bite back, I just let them go. But who are you encouraging? Stay on them. Nudge them. Push them where? Show them to them. Don't disencourage when you know better. You can see what you see about a person. Encourage the person. Who are you promoting? Promote somebody. There are people who need promoting. I don't have any problem promoting people, because I want to see you rise up. I want to see you be the best. I really do. Who are you mentoring? Mentor somebody. So you know what? But people sometimes look, especially my age, they know and sometimes we're never smart. Older people are never smart. Family members are never smart. And parents definitely are never smart. We don't know anything of what we're talking about, but we've been through life and we can see what others can't see. So a future doctor might be living right next door. Encourage that person. A future mayor is probably sitting in your classroom. I know I had some great people in my classroom. Had some great people in my classroom. There may be a Whitney Houston sitting in your church. Now you're talking about some folk can sing. It's some folk in the church. People in the church can just, baby, they really can. I'm just amazed at them. Anyway, a future community leader is in church. We have to encourage people. Encourage people. So longevity matters. Well, in my case, it's matter because I've lived long enough to I can say to myself, I told you so, but I don't say it out loud. But I do say I look around at different people where they could have been, should have been, or maybe they didn't want to be, but I know that I'd say to myself. Another lesson is longevity, though. Many people shine briefly. That's true. Few remain relevant for decades. Clive Davis was in his 90s, and people still sought his wisdom because he could see. He had a vision for people who were really talented. And there's so many, many, many talented people that never get seen or heard for so many reasons. You have to have somebody come and get you. That's what you have to do. And you say, well, God does that. Well, he sends you people. He sends you people. God sent me some people, and I'm glad and grateful for the people who he sent. The Absalom Center, he sent them. He sent them to me. And all of you that were a part of what I did, I'm forever grateful, because he sent you. Had that been for that show, we wouldn't have had this book. Because this book is the show, with a few additions, you see. And so I'm grateful for the people because I almost didn't listen. I'd asked some people, and everybody was busy. And I said, well, maybe I won't do it. And I'm glad I didn't take that road. My spirit said, no, you don't have to do it with those people. That's going to be somebody to step up to the plate. and people stepped up to the plate. And I'm so grateful because I would have missed that opportunity. And I had an argument on whether or not I was going to do it in March of 2020 or February of 2020. So Sean won that argument on the 13th of February 2020. In March 2020, the whole country shut down. You see, you never know how God's going to order your steps. But talent may open the door, but growth keeps the door open. The question is, what was I good at? What was I good at? That's not the question. That's not the real question. What was I good at? The question is, what am I still developing? What am I still developing? Because with all that, look, I got this book right here. How did this come from the One Woman Show? I had to stay here. This right here. This whole workbook that needs to be in classrooms. You know, that in public policy and planning. Anyway, so this is what I want you to do. What are you still developing in you? What are you still developing? What are you still developing? And I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions for tonight. You know, and there's some controversy around Clive Davis. I'm not putting him on a pedestal like that. I'm recognizing and stating what he did, which are the facts of what he did do. He did find these people and he did promote them, and they were absolutely fabulous. You know, the talent was just beyond. The greatest voice in the world for me, and he said that was Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices in the world. And so my question for you, who saw something in you before you saw it? Sometimes it's your parents. They see something in you before you see it. Who saw something in you before you saw it? It was, I think, I was always singing, even in elementary school. I was always up front in something, some kind of play, some kind of standing in front of the class, some kind of something. So I guess I would say my elementary school teachers saw it. What gift have you neglected because you thought it was too late? That was me. What gift have you neglected because you think it's too late? There is no time clock on talent. There's no time clock on creativity. There's no thing, the clock is going down so many days, so many months, so many years. No, that's right now. But you got a talent over there, and you're not using it. And you know you have it. There's a gift that God gave you that you know you have. You know, this is I feel like it's one of my gifts. I just turn the light on and start talking. I stopped doing that though. I stopped doing that because I was rambling on, as one of my friends said, you talk too long. So I got me something to keep me in some kind of time constraints. And the third one, whose talent are you supposed to encourage this week? There's a talent out there that you're supposed to encourage this week. When you see that talent, go get it. Some of y'all got choir rehearsal this week. And you know it's a talent over there. We got some people in the choir. I'm going to tell you about my choir that I was in. They still have me on the, I'm not getting emails anymore. They finally took me off the email list. Big Bethel AME Church choir. But it's okay. But let me tell you something. There's some people I'm going to come and get. I have been saying that for at least 10 years. Before the show, my one-woman show. But I promise you, I have an idea, and I have an idea to put the show on at Big Bethel. I got a new pastor, so I don't know how that'll work, but I have an idea to put the show on at Big Bethel and have an idea to use some members of the choir that I think have just outstanding voices. And I need those voices. I need to do something with them. I've been talking about it in my brain. So what talents are you supposed to encourage this week? I have my list. What about you? You know some people that need to be writing, and you know my daughter got all kind of stuff up on all kind of ideas up on YouTube. If you know somebody that needs to be writing, then you need to go to Alvin and Sandra Swafford and look it up so you can get you some writing going. You know somebody need to be singing. You know somebody need to be acting. Like I would like my one-woman show to go to Broadway. I tried to contact, now who am I? But I've seen movies that said people do this, so I contacted Kenny Leon. He didn't contact me back, but that didn't mean I didn't contact him. I just contacted him anyway. And so I haven't told. I think I started out with Byron Saunders years ago. You know, he has Janice Liddell. Right now, he got all the big names right now. So my play is in the drawer, but I'm gonna pull it out. I keep saying I'm gonna pull it out, but you know, you got to do some of the stuff yourself. You got to believe yourself. You got to say, "Oh God, I hate to be told no. Oh God, how I'm gonna do this." But Byron Saunders got a way of getting your play out. I love the way he does it. I just haven't. I'm gonna pull it out. I keep saying I'm gonna pull it out, but I like the way he does things. And so when you get down to the little people, then I'll pull my play out. Anyway, what gift have you neglected because you thought it was too late? I need you to think about that. I need to think about who saw something in you before you saw it for yourself. I need you to think about that. I can think about my Pulaski Elementary School. And what talent are you supposed to encourage this week? Because sometimes the greatest gift we can give one another is not money, although I like to put a cash app up here, but they'll get me. Not advice, not connection. It's simply saying, I see something special in you. I had students for 21 years. And it would be some student I would say, you need to do blah, blah, blah. And they'd say, I was just thinking that. I'm telling you, when the Lord tell you something, I'll say, you know what? I don't know but I think you'd be good doing blah, 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 blah. And only 9 out of 10, I would say, 9 out of 9.9, they would say, I was just thinking about that. Because God will tell you stuff, he'll whisper in your ear for you, something for you to tell. He tells people something to tell me. He tells me something to tell you. And this is what I'm supposed to do out here for you today. So let me see, where am I lost what I said? Not connect. It's simply, I see something special in you. And perhaps the greatest tragedy is not that we never become famous. It's that we never use the gift God placed inside of us. I got one. I'm brokenhearted in my own way, but I'm gonna let it ride because the gift is so clear. I can see it as clear as day, But sometimes you see people don't see their own gifts, and so you have to get out of the way of that. How many of you all got people out there that you know they got a gift? But there's a proverb: a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. So it'll work out. Friends, maybe this is the week to stop looking for talent in everybody else and start recognizing the talent God placed in you. He placed some talent in you. I'm so glad to know all of you. I am. On the other side of the screen, I'm so glad to know you because you're so smart. I love smart people. I do. I don't mean it like, am I elitist? No. I love people who have made up their mind. They're going to get this done, that done, and they go about it. And we all get discouraged. Let me tell you, I love Francois Craig. He'll tell you, his name is Michael Francois Craig. I was trying to figure out who was Michael. Anyway, and so we were saying, I said, you have got to do Women on the Move around the globe. And it just wasn't working here. It wasn't working there. It wasn't working there. And I didn't care where it wasn't working. I said, this is going to work. I said, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's going to work. And guess what? It's working now. I like that he worked with me, and it's working now. I like the way Sean said, Sean Walker and Cornell and Wanda Spivey and the Absalom Jones people and Alma Vineyard, all of them said, come on, Georgianne, let's get this thing going. Come on now. I got somebody to do everything. You see, you got to have people that just say, come on now. So come on now this week. Come on, all of you. And start recognizing the talent God placed in you. The world may applaud your success, but never forget the people who applauded your potential. The world's going to, everybody going to, I know, Georgianne. I know. No. Oh, excuse me. No. I want to stick with the people who said, girl, I've been with you. I was with you back then. I was with you then. I was with you now. Because you can see the potential in a person. And the other part about this, though, this is going to be the negative part. I don't like to end on a negative note. But there are people who see the potential and put a wall up, put lies out and work hard to make sure that your potential does not make it. They block it, and they know just enough to sucker you in, and that you block your own blessing. There was a book we had to read. All of us was reading this man's work, and can't think of it now. It's the Jabez prayer man, and he talked about the boxes in heaven with the white boxes. It was so visual, white boxes in heaven with bowls on it. And somebody would say, "Ooh, look at this room with all these beautiful boxes." And they said, what are boxes for? They said, those are the people who didn't get their blessing, that they blocked their own blessings, and they're still sitting here. And I thought about that over the years, and I have blocked some of my own blessings. I have. Just not believing the person who told me, and not believing me, for that matter, not believing something, and getting depressed about things, and thinking it's some other reason, thinking I'm copying somebody, I don't want to do it, all kind of old crazy reasons, instead of me saying, let me go and do this, because I know it's a blessing on the other side. I missed some stuff. I was just sitting here tonight thinking about how I messed up a perfectly wonderful opportunity. And I know I tell you all to let the past go. I'm not always good. I always tell you to do what I say, not what I do. I do. You see, but let me encourage you today. Let me encourage you today. Because we're down to the end of what? The second quarter. I told you and I spoke with you about this. If you at the end of the second quarter and you have not gotten it to the implementation stage, I'm going to be just upset with you, but I'm not going to discourage you. I'm not going to discourage you. I may call your name under my breath, but I'm not going to discourage you if you're still working on it. But baby, we're at the end now. Launch. You had from January to June. You know what happens July 1st? It's Christmas. July 1st is a new fiscal year, and it is Christmas. Repeat after me. It is Christmas. People are not thinking about that now. They're not thinking about what you talked about in January, February, March, April, May, June. They're going, July 1st, they're ready to go, okay, is it ready? Is yours ready? You said, no, I'm going to have it ready next month. Baby, they're going on to Christmas. No, I need you to get ready. Because I need to see those products. I need to know what you're doing out there. And I need to know that something we said on a slice of life, encourage you to get out there and make that thing happen. And here's what you always know about me. What's that? That I love you. Ooh, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. I do love you. And there's nothing you can do about it.